Hey guys, Tim here, and I wanted to share with you today about my ultimate thrift store find. I don't know about you, but I do know that wherever I go, no matter where I'm traveling, I almost always try and find a local thrift store to see what kind of interesting stuff that I can find. I am normally looking for cameras, but sometimes I find things like old video games or DVD or two that I want to add to my film collection. I've also made it a habit to visit the 4 thrift stores in my town. In fact, I go about once or twice a week, well, prior to lockdown and COVID-19, but I used to go all the time. I know that a lot of people don't necessarily value old film cameras because they have no idea what they are worth, or they think that they can't find film for them anymore, and because of that, they generally give them away to a friend, or the camera finds itself in a bag and off to the Goodwill it goes. Or at least, in my mind, that is what I think what happens. In the past, I have been able to score several Canon A-1s and Canon A-1 programs, but on this day, I found something that I still struggle to wrap my head around. Okay, so 2 years ago, I walked into a thrift store called The Village. I spent about 20 minutes walking around before I ventured to the glass case where they keep all of the things that they deem valuable. I just want to preface that 95% of the time, the things that they deem valuable are normally things like the original Xbox or maybe a PlayStation 2 and a couple of handful of cameras. I would probably say that almost all the cameras in this particular case that I visited several times are generally Olympus or Canon film cameras. That's how I've been able to score so many AE1s. However, on this day, I found a camera that was black and it had a piece of gaffer's tape over the front of the camera. I knew instantly that it was a Leica. I asked the cashier if I could take a look at it, and she took my ID and handed the camera to me. I peeled back the tape and I saw the red dot and the M on the camera that Leicas are famously known for having. When I turned the camera over, my heart sunk because the back LCD was smashed and the camera had glass pieces floating all around the LED screen protector. I opened the bottom of the camera and it still had the battery in it, but the camera would not turn on. I asked the cashier if she knew anything about the camera, and she said it came in with a bunch of other stuff, but it didn't work. I gave it back to the cashier and I continued to walk around this thrift store. Now, at this point, I did not even know what the make or the model of the camera was. I just knew that it was a Leica, and I knew that it was a digital Leica and that it was broken. The other thing I knew was that they were asking for $375 for it, and all that came with the camera was the camera, a viewfinder that was made by Olympus. Now, the Olympus viewfinder made me scratch my head and I thought it was weird. But as I walked around the store, I contemplated how much it would cost me to get it fixed, and if I was willing to spend almost $400 on a camera that I did not know worked. Against my better instinct of not wasting money, I bought it. I took it home, and for about 3 weeks, it sat on a shelf. About a week later, I went to eBay and I bought a charger and a battery off of it, and it cost me about $58. When it came in the mail, I charged the battery and I put it in the camera. So now I had 2 batteries, and when I turned on the camera, I was completely shocked that the camera turned on. So I rushed upstairs to my iMac and I bought the cheapest in-mount lens I could find, and I had it sent to my house in 1 day. I was still in the stage of simply testing it out, and I did not want to invest too much money until I knew it was working properly. I got this awesome 7 Artisan 50mm lens, popped it on the camera, clicked the shutter, and the dang thing took a picture. The rear LCD screen also still worked. Now, because I'm a gigantic dummy, I never did any research on what type of camera it was until after I got the battery and the lens. After doing a little research, I found out that it was a Leica M240, which sells used on eBay from anywhere from $2,700 to $4,200. And I was all in on this working thrift store find for a total of $643 with a lens. Yeah guys, so that's it. That is how I totally scored the ultimate thrift store bargain. It was a lot of luck, but hey, I own a digital Leica and maybe one day I will get the rear screen fixed, but until then, I will be a camera that I take out and enjoy despite the screen being cracked. Well guys, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week. Peace.